lot of my world ends up being about tests of physiology. Can I just suffer? Can I put up the weight? Can I put up the poundage? Those things remain the same.
All your cameras just pass away this photo. Keep on coming at it. That's what we're talking about right there.
One of the ideas about the open ocean race is there's so many variables, you know. Yeah, your physiology matters and your skill matters, but then, man, the currents matter and the day matters and the waves matter. It's a real test of your ability to integrate so many experiences, and then you got to layer in your physiology and layer in being afraid and layer in having your heart rate high and being in the ocean. Staring down the barrel of 50K in big water, it's good for you. It's good for me.
Oh, picking up the boat, you nervous? It's like seeing the bride before the wedding.
So many details, you know, you still gotta go do it. Man, it feels good to be here. Love this place. P.S. It's nuking. The winds are nuking.
Explain nuking to the layman.
Think of it as the winds are insane right now. Insane. It's legit. Here we are. We're now at the Outrigger Canoe Club. We're gonna pick up the boat. This is like one of the famous, established 100 years ago. This is the official World Championships for surf ski. So, open ocean racing kayak. This is the Maui gym, Kanaki Kaika. The problem is in the mainland, you can't bring your own boat. So what do? You have to borrow a boat here. Mahala. We're just at Hawaii Kai, and we're here at Port Lock, and we're about to go get the race bibs. We finally made it. Well, if you got anything left in your arms, you can hook in. You got to paddle up the couple kilometers against the headwind, come through the little gap, and then apparently it's you just follow yourself in like a shark on the chum of the burger. That's how it works. I think it's a sign of health that I can still train for a sport, not kill my wife, not have my wife kill me, still love my kids, and run this business. So we're doing good. I think it's great. What's interesting behind all this has been this little boat drama. So day 2, picked up the boat yesterday, got here, managed all the stuff, got checked in. We're 1 block from the beach, and the winds have been nuking. I think they're gonna come down a little bit for Sunday, but it's been quite windy and big. And what I've been worried about actually is that they actually don't build surf skis to handle kids who deadlifted in January. So I'm a very big paddler at 105 kilos, and what ends up happening is I can paddle these boats on flat water, but I actually, as soon as it gets a little choppy, they've been not built for me. So I have been in all of the boats, all the manufacturers, I'm talking to you, and they don't make them for, if you don't have a thigh gap, you can't paddle this sport. So I don't have one. I found a boat. This is the V8. I have a bigger version of this that's not good in the chop for me, final flat water. But I was really unsure, honestly, how that would handle, because a lot of the water I paddle at home is flat, a little choppy, not a big deal, but it's not the same thing as going out in the big sea. And there's so much going on in kayaking as a sport, or any water sport, because you have to manage wave and current and wind and get the feedback from the boat. So it's all real time. It's like playing defense versus offense. For running an offensive play, you know what you're gonna do, right? Like weightlifting is an offensive play on the first pull. Where you receive it, maybe that's a defensive play, right? That in that short time. This is all defense. So you're thinking, how am I reacting? How am I interpreting that? And then you've got all this input from the blade as well. So trying to maintain your position, feel the boat, being able to add good power to it, read the water, and then you gotta breathe, and you gotta relax and let the boat run and try to shut it down and save it. It's fabulous.
Inundation lines actually the street. So we're across the street from it. Theoretically, shouldn't have to work.
I just stuck down, the nose peeled back like 6 inches, a bunch of water came underneath it, but folks on the escort made sure the ladies beat the guy and his grandson so that they weren't last.
It used to be you could count on your friends having some kettlebells, giving you steak, you know.
You want to use kettlebells?
No,
We
I'm
have
saying
kettlebells.
you could count on it. And now the next generation is wherever you go,
Yeah.
there's a tank full of cold water for you.
Yeah.
It's really amazing.
You sit in the front.
Yeah, you try to get the
You
neck.
get all the way down. I go until I start to shiver,
That's it.
and then I move my hands a little bit. Then I get to check how cold it was.
That's right.
And then I get to get out.
I like that you can't get hot too. Just jump right in. You know, you go for it. I think it's that the time is important in the beginning. Just if you
Just to calibrate.
just so you know, right? But then all of a sudden, you should be about, I'll feel. How do I feel today? Let me see. You know. And this exposure is amazing. This thing is so great. So
I love it.
It's a guy in Florida who put it online and tagged Brian and I. And he's like, "What do you guys think about this?" And we were like, "Stupid. So good. It's such a good idea." We have like an ice machine next to our house and a tank, and we're like, "Oh, it's so dumb."
I plug it in, leave it overnight. Good enough. And then it's good for like 3-4 days.
Isn't that amazing?
Good morning. Aloha kayaka.
For as long as I can remember, scrambled eggs and oatmeal wins the day. I can do that. Jump on a trampoline, run a marathon. Doesn't matter. You know, I feel just as giddy and excited was when I was 12. You know, stitching together my first paddle jacket. You know, repairing it, or you know, begging to do roll sessions at the kayak club. And, you know, we spent so much time around the boats. This is what I know, and I'll say that so many of the amazing experiences of my life have actually come from paddling. I met my wife Juliet, the best friends.
You might forget about being courteous to one another because of the competition. But remember why you're here. Yeah? In fact, it brings memory. The other day I met with all my friends. We're all kapunas, very old, so we forget a lot of things. And then you might have heard it before. So one of the guys says, "Hey, I gave a good place in Molokai where you can eat." And everybody goes, "Wow, where is it?" And he starts to forget. He goes, the thing was cheap, good service, and good food. And everybody goes, "Where is it?" He goes, "Wow." He looks at his friend and he goes, "What is that flower that has thorns on it?" And his friend goes, "Rose." He goes, "Oh yeah." He looks at his wife and he goes, "Rose, what's the name of that restaurant?" So don't forget why we're here. Let's have a good race.
Our friend Rebecca Rush, world champion mountain biker, said she always races because she knows she's going to meet a better version of herself at the end. And she's racing to meet that person. And I feel like that's really the truth.
Escort vessel 47, you copy? Okay, everybody, for the 9:30 start, we just had a 9:30 start. Once again, everybody, slide down the starboard side, the side side of the big course, please. Nice and easy.
You're gonna have to do more than 100. I think it might be more than 300.
So remember this, the idea of the super tourist is to try to go out, have an adventure, make yourself uncomfortable, learn, adapt, feel. It's look like to kind of, I don't know, have to sharpen the blade a little bit in the middle of your normal life training, and then go extend that in the world. And Molokai was a big one.
Come a little right from that bow, that's a little greedy south. That boat way out there, furthest left, they're on a perfect line.
I felt like it had been a while. Even Mark's powerlifting meet or the Spartan race didn't have the same sort of psychological import that this did to me. Maybe because I was a paddler, or felt like I wanted to go back to the channel.
Woo-hoo, there you go, rip up!
The conditions were all time. 6 members, the first top 6 guys, all broke the all-time record. It's been around for like 15 years by Dean Gardner. So people were flying. The waves were epic. It was big. I got a big dose of it.
Just come back to your right. There you go. Just a greedy surfer. Take every wave. Nice. Good save. so hard to the boat up on.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes the sea just doesn't want you.
Your pack, your hydration pack's floating out of your life jacket. Take a pee while you're there. Adventure at sea.
Last time I did Molokai, I felt like I was on a boat that was a little too small, and I had to paddle a lot, and it was not very satisfying. Grinding, not satisfying. This time, I knew I was having boat issues beforehand, and I'm not, poor carpenter blames his tools. I knew beforehand, but ended up getting out of the boat after 30 kilometers and I was just cooked. Couldn't keep the boat upright.
Stop having fun. No longer fun.
Just fighting. I was washing over a lot. I watched my boat mystery move a couple times, which the entire boat was under a wave. And what's interesting is that I think, if I really think about it, I don't think I pulled out of a physical contest or bombed a race. I don't know, maybe ever. I think that having this experience of saying, hey, I don't think I have 2 more hours of this, was one thing, but completely being okay with it is the other thing. I didn't know how I'd feel about potentially, setting myself up, months of training, all the logistics. I mean, the number of people involved to make that race happen is mind-blowing. From my wife and my kids, Nathan doing incredible work on the camera. We have Tim driving, Zolt and the kids at Epic Surf Ski helping me find out sort out a boat locally. There's all of the safety people. In order to have that experience, reminds me that part of the training process has to be about the community and it has to be about the tribe and the experience. There's a photo that Nathan grabbed, Tim, our driver, grabbed of Nathan, and I'm paddling away, and you're in the water, and it says it all. I've got my back to everything that makes it possible for me to do this, right? And I've got this open ocean ahead of me, and that's all I can see. And I don't know, I came back and I felt really, really grounded and complete. Now I'm going to do an interpretive dance. I call this. This is the metaphor. Allegory, out of gas. Felt really satiated, like you've ever had a big glass of water after being really thirsty and then you don't want any more water? That's how I felt. So maybe that's the analogy. And maybe that's the lesson here is in the super tourist, they say if you want to go fast, go long. If you want to go far, go with friends.